On August 24th, 2016, tragedy struck my family. My father had suffered a stroke. Distraught, confused, afraid, we called 911 to get him to the nearest hospital. We made it to the emergency in a matter of minutes. We sit down, waiting for status updates. We are visited by a handful of doctors and nurses and various other ER staff, none of us giving us a clear, concise answer as to what was going on, or what his status even looked like. Minutes turned into hours. We finally got news almost 6 hours after originally arriving at the hospital. He had suffered a stroke, a massive one at that. Doctors worked tirelessly attempting to stabilize his condition when a complication arose. He had a hemorrhage on the left side of his brain, and there was no sign of it stopping. The neurosurgeon came to us with a choice, an ultimatum of sorts. They could perform a surgery and attempt to drain the blood and prevent more swelling, or we could tempt chance, and with there being a possibility it could stop on its own, or worse. We opted for the surgery. Even with the risk of him living permanently disabled, they began the surgery prep, hours beyond that pass. We finally get news from the doctors. The surgery was successful. A short while later, he was placed in the NCCU, or the Neurocritical Care Unit, where he would remain for almost 3 weeks recovering. As time passed, he began showing more and more improvements to his condition. Although he has very limited use of his right hand and leg, he started showing signs of his former true self, where the nurses actually had to put a glove on his hand because he would start grabbing and ripping out the stuff that was attached to him. He would keep his left leg out of the covers, a way he slept very commonly when he was normal. After weeks of spending time in the hospital, he began showing more and more of his true self, smiling, always having a grin on his face whenever the nurses would walk in. He'd smile from ear to ear. He would actually fist bump us with his left hand, something he commonly did before the stroke. He would want to watch the Bears play, even though the Bears never really did that well. And before long, he was actually transferred to a nursing home where he began showing more and more improvements. While he was still in the hospital, however, he had actually decided that he had enough of the trach in his throat, where they would be giving him breathing treatments and clearing out his lungs. He decided he had enough of that and took that out himself and was able to speak after that. And one of the very first things he said to me after his surgery was, "Bill due 19, which with him, he was telling me that his credit card bill was due on the 19th of that month, which was quite incredible, I think, someone who had a stroke still remembering something like that. But when he was in the nursing home, he started improving massively. His speech starting to return, his movement is kind of getting better. Since he spent so much time in the hospital, he actually lost a lot of movement in his left side as well, because not moving, you lose the muscle. So with his therapy and all the rehab that he had been doing in the nursing home, he's actually able to stand up almost under his own power. He still needs assistance. He still doesn't quite have the same usage in his left side, but now he can start slowly moving some parts of his leg and some parts of his arm, although he's in extreme discomfort now that his body is starting to realize that it has not been moved, and it is starting to realize that it needs to be moved. However, he has been home now for just over a week, almost 2 weeks now, I believe, and things are going about as well as you think they could. He has started doing his outpatient therapy and is doing better and better. He's enjoying the home environment, being surrounded by the dogs, and started to, get more back into his normal routine, waking up in the morning, going to bed at night. There are still some trials and tribulations, but that's only to be expected with something as massive as this, as we try to readjust and accommodate for it. It's gotten to the point now to where we always have someone with him, keeping him company, watching out for him, helping him use the bathroom when need be. But it's something that you never know how to go through and don't know how you're going to respond to this. But it's something that I am very thankful for friends and family who have helped us out through the time and who have assisted us with care when needed. It's something that I think I'll always be grateful for, and it's something that was definitely a lesson learned for all of us, and I think it's something that's very scary to go through, and I really don't wish it upon anyone, but it's really helped me grow as a person, and for that I'm thankful, and I'm thankful that my father is still around. He's downstairs sleeping right now at the moment, and if you look at these two pictures, what a difference a few months can make. Thank thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all next time.